Hi Scorpio, welcome back to my channel. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in. If you enjoy this content, please feel free to leave behind a thumbs up or a subscribe. That would be very much appreciated. Okay, Scorpio, what's coming up for Scorpio? November. Okay, let's start off with the Five of Cups. This is water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy that is coming forward here with the first card. This is often seen as a card of grief or loss or mourning something. It can be overindulging or a situation that hasn't been idealistic that might play out for you in the beginning of November. Now, it's not all bad because although the three of the cups are spilt, maybe this is a third-party situation that unfolded. Maybe it's a betrayal that happened. Maybe that was pain. Maybe there was conflict. But let's look at the bright side. And you do have two cups that are still behind you here, Scorpio. So this is quite interesting. Now, the bridge, sometimes it can be seen as putting something in the past, water under the bridge. But a bridge can also link you back to something here, Scorpio. So not necessarily the past, but there might be moments of nostalgia or moments of grieving or missing someone here. So that might be coming up around you, or someone might be missing you. Now, the Two of Cups can most certainly symbolize a twin flame connection for a lot of you. So there might be a twin flame connection that might be disconnected for a brief moment in time during this time of November. But the bridge sometimes links us to other areas, links us to the past, links us back to someone here. So that's quite interesting that it has come up. Look, it might even be an air sign here, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius as well. You do have strong Aries energy. It has come forward quite prominently in the middle column here in the form of the Magician and the Fool card. Now, there's new beginnings that are being offered here to you, Scorpio. So this is quite positive. But it's beginnings you hadn't really planned for. Because A, the Magician manifests things into our lives fairly quickly, and the Fool doesn't plan. The Fool is somewhat irrational. He's a bit of a free spirit. So something you hadn't planned on starting this, you hadn't planned on entering this connection or starting that job or starting this venture, is coming up around you. You might find inspiration in unexpected places, but you could speak of an autonomous development here as well. So for some of you, a business adventure, travel opportunities, independent money-making opportunities, hobbies that turn into crafts, that turn into talents, that turn into lucrative ventures. That's also extremely possible with the Magician card here. But I love that he has everything out on the table here, because I feel like it's all or nothing. It's either you're going all in or you're not going in at all, Scorpio. And I wouldn't say it's translated to an ultimatum, but there is some sort of symbolism here that you're giving something your all, or someone is going to give you their all, their last energy, or completely submit or surrender, because there is submission, because the Fool essentially submits. And it's quite interesting. You also have the World card here, which can be prominence, it can be fame, it can be exposure, it can also be an online connection that takes form sometime during the time of November, perhaps more so in the middle. The World card is potentially being on cloud 9, and it's a world of opportunity that's opening up. So I think if you've got any independent ventures, if you've got any sort of creative roles you're adhering to or completing, I sense that these ventures could be quite successful. You might receive some swayed opinions. Okay, Five of Wands is not a unanimous decision or a certain state on something. It can be quite conflicting, but for the most part, I do see something to be received quite well. And I think you've had some sort of hand in this. Maybe it's a creative project, maybe it's a self-transformation, but that's coming up with the World card too. And look, online companies launching something into the world, social media, having an impact on someone, messages, online messages coming in around you, something that's interconnected, and travel opportunities. The World and the Fool, you're going places, Scorpio. You really are. There's losses here. I know that. There's times you've fallen down, and there's times you've failed, and there's times you've had to rethink and reanalyze and give something a second go. Well, maybe it's even been a third go. But the point is, you will pick yourself up because there's something that you're destined to complete. Look at the World card around. The wreath is completion. It's something coming to full circle. So there's something still for you to do, or there's a task at hand that you're set to complete. So it's almost the message of it's time to finish what you started, something to come full circle, or you to go all the way. Again, it's all or it's nothing at all here, Scorpio. It's quite intense. But look, let's move on to the Ten of Swords. Might be an air sign around you, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The Ten of Swords can be seen as a betrayal. It can be seen as a time of ending or shedding layers. Internal and self-transformation speaks to me more in this first column for you, especially because you're the Five of Cups on top. And there's a situation you're potentially really beating yourself up about, Scorpio. You couldn't have changed this even if you wanted to. I don't know if this is a setback in career. I don't know if this is a creative pursuit attempt. I don't know if this is a relationship that you tried to make work. But you cannot beat yourself up about it. Sometimes the Ten of Swords is purposely inflicting pain on oneself. And it's potentially you in a dark space. You know, is it morning? He's in dark clothing. The darkness here is pictured also in the Ten of Swords. Is it a space of darkness? Is it a space of lack of light? Do you see the contrast? Are you dwelling in the darkness more than you need to be? But is this pain self-inflicted, or are you still dwelling? Are you still sitting in a negative spot? Are you still vacationing there? Something has happened. Something has set you back. But all your energy and all your focus, maybe towards the mid part of the month, is going on whatever this is. But I want to say there's going to come a time where you're going to free yourself. Because with the Ten of Swords, we see the light. And the light is coming forward with the Fool. There's going to be something that's going to shift within you, Scorpio. And suddenly you're going to submit or surrender to something. Or you're finally going to say, enough is enough. Everything, I've laid it all out on the table. I've analyzed it. I've done my fair share. Maybe this is resistance, and maybe you can no longer fight that resistance. Maybe that's resistance there with the Five of Wands. But I feel with the Fool card, there's a new beginning here, and you're just going to submit to it. Now, you can read this in a couple of ways. It's either a jumping off point for you to start something new, reinvent yourself, spruce up what you already have, reinvent the connection, reinitiate the connection, or focus on self-growth and self-journeying. Because the Fool card can be a jumping off point, or it can be you're on the edge of a precipice and the only way is down. So you really have to choose which way you're going to look. Are you going to focus on the negative, or are you going to acknowledge that there's something else here that's destined for you? A very, very interesting reading here, Scorpio. I feel like I'm going deeper and deeper than I actually need to. But look, I think for some of you, this might be a very resonating reading. But look, on the Fool card can also be a vacation. It can be travel plans. It can be adventure. It can be new and exotic lands that are calling you. It can be another attempt to move, to be an expat, to join a company that's overseas, interstate, at a different city. Something foreign atmospheres, foreign people, foreign connections are calling you. And the Fool seeks adventure. There's something you're going to be drawn to, and this might be a very opportunistic time to go on adventures, do some soul searching. Some of you might be meeting someone on a trip, not necessarily romantic, but someone who's going to help you in some way, help you see who you are as a person, help you understand your characteristics, your idiosyncrasies, why you are the way you are, why you think the way you think. But there is disruption. There's disruption in the frequency here with the Five of Wands. Five of Wands energy is dysfunction. Five of Wands is too many thoughts, too many opinions coming at you at all these different directions, and it's quite an overwhelming energy, and it's intense, but it's not building a solid foundation. This is where the foundation starts with the Five of Wands. It's imperative, but there's a lack of agreeability. Maybe this will be more heightened in collaborative environments, group settings, tutorials, college classes, universities, community groups, fundraising events, social connections, family gatherings. It's a group setting, and there's a bit of lack of smooth functionality, I should say. Could also be fire sign, which would be the Aries, the Sagittarius or Leo who's coming through, who is causing a bit of disruption. There's opposition here. This is not laying solid foundations. Foundations are very pivotal. They're the very thing that we base things on. And the foundations that you're laying, I don't know if it's through your attitude. I don't know if it's through this other person. I don't know if it's through other people that you're working with. But there's something about not a solid foundation that's being built, and that's preventing this from growing and flourishing. So towards the end of November, you might see that sort of dysfunction surface. And it could also be competition. Competition in business. Competition for your lover's affection. So, you know, again, it's all or nothing here, Scorpio. You can't let things beat you down. I'm not sure if I called you Sag before. I meant Scorpio, so I apologize if I did. I've just done Sagittarius's reading before you, so I do apologize. But look, the wands can be Sagittarius and Leo energy. So there might be this fire sign that's coming in and disrupting the frequency. But again, Scorpio, it's all or nothing. It's either you're going to commit wholeheartedly, build those solid foundations, or you're just going to submit and let other people take control. But in a way, that's giving up. Are you ready to give up on this just yet? This is the question you might need to ask yourself. No longer can you beat yourself up about it. You need to see the optimism. You need to see everything you've brought to this venture, to this person, to this connection, to this opportunity, to this transformation. And you need to use it as fuel for empowerment and your self-journey. So quite a powerful reading. We'll leave it at that.